Hello and welcome back to EducateAble. I'm so glad you are here. If you are a parent, teacher, or shadow teacher supporting a neurodivergent child, this episode is especially for you. This is episode 15 in our ongoing shadow teacher series where we talk honestly and practically about what inclusion looks like in real classrooms. Not theory, not ideal conditions. Real children, real schools, real constraints. Today, we are talking about something that has become unavoidable in 2026 assistive technology in inclusive classrooms. Post pandemic classrooms have changed. Attention demands are higher, sensory load is heavier, academic expectations are rising earlier, and at the same time, we are finally seeing more openness to neurodiversity and accommodations. Technology, especially AI supported tools, is now sitting right in the middle of this shift. So the big question is not should we use assistive tech? The real question is how do shadow teachers and parents use assistive tech in ways that actually reduce stress instead of creating more? That is what we are unpacking today. What assistive technology really means? Let us start by grounding this. When we say assistive technology, we are not talking about fancy gadgets or expensive devices. In inclusive education, assistive tech simply means any tool that helps a child access learning, regulate themselves, or communicate more easily than they could without it. That is it. For a child with ADHD, assistive tech might support focus or time awareness. For an autistic child, it might reduce language load or sensory overwhelm. For a child with executive functioning challenges, it might externalize planning and memory. And for shadow teachers, assistive tech often acts like a silent co-regulator. It carries part of the cognitive load so the adult does not have to prompt constantly. The goal is not independence overnight. The goal is access with dignity. Now let us look at some practical classroom-friendly tools that shadow teachers are actually using or recommending in 2026. I will share what they do, who they help, how they fit into classrooms, and some honest pros and cautions. Tool 1. Text-to-speech and reading support tools. What it does, text-to-speech tools read written content aloud using natural sounding voices. Many now use AI to adjust pacing, highlight text, and simplify language. Who it helps? Children with dyslexia or reading fatigue, autistic children who process auditory input better than visual, ADHD learners who lose focus during long reading tasks, children with language processing delays. How a shadow teacher might use it? Use it during independent reading time so the child can follow along. Allow headphones for worksheets or digital textbooks. Pair it with highlighting so the child tracks visually while listening. This reduces the need for the shadow teacher to read everything aloud repeatedly. Some tips. Use it as access, not as avoidance. Encourage visual tracking alongside audio when possible. Some free or low-cost alternatives are built-in text-to-speech on tablets, Google tools, or browser extensions often work just as well. Tool 2. AI-based focus timers and task support apps. What they do? These tools break tasks into manageable chunks, provide visual timers, and use gentle AI reminders instead of harsh alarms. Some can adapt timing based on the child's past engagement patterns. Who it helps? ADHD learners, children with time blindness, students who freeze when tasks feel too big, PDA learners when framed as choice-based support. Now, how a shadow teacher can use this? Instead of saying, finish this now, the shadow teacher might say, let us try 5 minutes with the timer, then we check in. The app becomes the external boundary, not the adult. Some tips. Avoid overusing rewards or gamification. For some children, this increases pressure instead of motivation. Some free options, simple visual timers or analog countdown apps are often enough. Tool 3. Visual schedule and social story apps. What it does, visual schedule apps show the day in pictures or simple words. Some allow children to tap finish to mark transitions. Others help create short social stories or visual explanations for routines. Who it helps? Autistic children, children with anxiety around transitions, PDA learners when choice and predictability are balanced, younger neurodivergent students. Now, how a shadow teacher can use it? Shadow teachers often preview the day quietly before class starts, use the schedule to prepare for changes, refer to visuals instead of repeated verbal prompts. This reduces power struggles and verbal overload. A few tips to remember. Keep visuals flexible. A schedule is a guide, not a contract. Some alternatives, printed picture schedules or whiteboard drawings work just as well when tech is restricted. Tool 4. noise management, and auditory support tools. What it does, noise cancelling headphones or loop style ear devices reduce background noise while still allowing speech to come through. Who it helps? Sensory sensitive autistic children, ADHD learners overwhelmed by classroom noise, children who shut down during group activities. How it helps a shadow teacher? A shadow teacher might offer headphones during independent work, remove them during group discussion, teach the child when and how to request them. This supports self advocacy over time. Some tips to remember: normalize use. When tools are framed as special, children may resist them. Tool 5: AI note support and teacher aids. What it does: AI powered note tools summarize lessons, transcribe instructions, or convert speech into simple written points. Now, who it helps? Shadow teachers tracking classroom instructions, older students who miss verbal information, children with working memory challenges. How a shadow teacher can use it? Instead of constantly asking the main teacher to repeat instructions, the shadow teacher can quietly reference notes and support the child discreetly. A few tips. These tools are supports for adults too. A regulated adult creates a regulated classroom experience. Let me share a few anonymized examples. Scenario 1. A 7-year-old with ADHD and anxiety would shut down during written tasks. Using a text-to-speech tool, the child could listen first, then write. Meltdowns reduced, engagement increased, the shadow teacher stopped being the constant interpreter. Scenario 2. An autistic child struggled with sudden schedule changes. A visual schedule app allowed the shadow teacher to show changes calmly. No long explanations, no escalation, just visual predictability. Scenario 3. A PDA learner resisted adult instructions but responded well to timers. The timer became the boundary, not the adult. Demand fell lower, cooperation improved. These tools did not fix the child, they changed the environment. A few important reminders and tips for ethical considerations. Start small, one tool at a time. Introduce tech collaboratively. Explain it as support, not correction. Monitor effectiveness. If stress increases, pause. Be mindful of privacy. Avoid tools that collect unnecessary data or record children without consent. And remember, assistive tech should reduce adult prompting, not replace human connection. This is where expressive arts fits beautifully. You might use visual story apps for children to create their own emotional narratives. Pair emotion tracking apps with drawing or clay work. Use digital visuals as prompts for offline art and movement. Technology provides structure. Expressive arts provide meaning. Together, they support regulation and expression. If this episode was helpful, I would love to hear from you. Comment below what assistive tool has helped most in your classroom, or what challenge are you currently facing with inclusion? Do not forget to subscribe to EducateAble for more episodes in the Shadow Teacher series. Like and share this with a parent or teacher who might need it. And check the pinned comment for resources and tool links. Thank you for the work you do. Inclusion is not easy, but you are not doing it alone. I will see you in the next episode.